On May 15, 2006, the world was graced with a brand new Mario game and sub-series, New Super Mario Bros. The game was a critical and commercial hit, and reinvigorated interest in 2D platformer Mario games. Now keep in mind, this was the first 2D Mario game since Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy. Yeah, it can be said it's been a while. The game was eaten up, and people who haven't touched a Mario game were now fans of the franchise, as well as people who fell off of it. With this, in 2009, Nintendo released a sequel for the much more powerful Wii, and just like the DS original, the sales were astronomical, and further cemented Mario's place in gaming history. And so, rinse and repeat twice, and here we are. Yet another basic 2D platformer Mario game. Don't get me wrong, this game is fantastic, but it is easy to see why the reception of the latest game in the series, New Super Mario Bros. U, was not that anticipated, since it just looked like another Mario game. It looked lifeless, with no personality whatsoever. And in late 2018, during a Direct, Nintendo announced a Switch port of the game with new features. Does this game hold up? Is it fun? And most importantly, does the title live up to its Deluxe moniker? Let's find out. For starters, instead of making your way to Bowser's lair, you make your way to Peach's castle instead, which Bowser has sieged and turned into his own dark image. I always thought this was really cool and unique for a 2D Mario game. Also, not many people bring this up, but I like the more washed out color scheme of this entry. World 1, Acorn Plains, is more of a foresty prairie instead of a bright green hill, if that makes sense. But I do think it was a huge missed opportunity to not base the worlds off of real-world countries. Since its new perspective on the Mushroom Kingdom, it would be super cool if they did something similar to Super Mario Land, and based sparkling waters off of Venice, for example. But I digress. The real star of the show here are the levels, and how do they hold up? The level design in this game is tight and wonderful. It feels much less barren compared to the Wii entry, and I think some levels are pretty challenging, especially in New Super Luigi U, but we'll get to that later. I always found this game's levels to be the best in the series, and I will still go by that statement. Something about it just feels new and unexplored, which is partly because of the newer backgrounds, which I find very refreshing rather than the basic pink and green dotted hills. While they aren't very difficult, they provide a nice and unique challenge, and do feel more daring than the other entries in the series. I also think that this 2D Mario has the best sense of progression in the whole series. Seeing the castle get more and more corrupted motivates you to get to your destination, and I always appreciated that. Included in each level are 3 star coins, optional collectibles that unlock extra levels at the end of the story mode if you collect them all. Problem is, some star coins can be pretty unfairly placed and seem cheap and lame, while others feel really rewarding to collect. Every once in a while, a Toad house will get robbed by a little miscreant named Nabbit. You follow him into a level and chase him, you get an item for it. It's a nice distraction from the flow of the core game nonetheless. But of course, this game is a port of a 7-year-old Wii U launch title. So what new Deluxe content did Nintendo add to the package anyway? Of all the games they could repackage, it is rather strange that this is the game Nintendo went with. But I am fine with ports as long as they include a sizable amount of new content. And unfortunately, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe does not live up to its subtitle. The biggest inclusion in this version to make it stand out is a new character, Toadette, who acts as a somewhat easy mode for the game. At one true cost, the loss of our comrade, Blue Toad. A moment of silence. Regardless, this port also includes a new power-up, the Super Crown, which is exclusive to only Toadette, which, let's be real here, is for the best. We don't need any of that Bowsette crap being confirmed by Nintendo. This new power-up turns Toadette into Peachette, a Princess Peach lookalike that gets an extra boost when falling into a bit, and gets 3-ups rather than 1-ups. She acts as an easy mode, which wouldn't be bad if the 4th player wouldn't have to be stuck with her. Either that or Nabbit, which is the baby's first character. It is disappointing that someone always has a handicap if you choose to play with 3 friends, but the story mode isn't the only campaign included with the game. The game includes a story mode, which is the main attraction of course, but bundled in are a few other interesting modes that are worth checking out. First is Boost Rush, a mode which is similar to the Coin Rush mode from New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS. Rather than having 100 seconds to collect as many coins as possible, you collect coins to make the auto-scroll of a level faster. I think it's an alright distraction. Along with this is Coin Battle, which in a way predates Mario Maker and lets you place coins down on the battlefield. And by far the hardest part of the game, and maybe the New Super Mario Bros. Series, is the challenges. These things can seem downright unfair sometimes. I remember getting addicted to this mode when the game first released on the Wii U. 2013 was the 30th anniversary of Mario's brother Luigi. In this year, he was given several game releases and spotlights. This includes his own new game, New Super Luigi U. In this game, levels are much shorter than the source game, and are only 100 seconds long. To top this, Luigi gets much floatier physics as well. This was released as an add-on DLC to New Super Mario Bros. U back in the day, and comes bundled with the Deluxe version. The strange thing is that during the Wii U days, Nintendo released a bundle of the two for only $30 if I remember correctly. Which makes the fact that this port being $60 seems pretty scummy and corporate to me. But with how Nintendo has been lately, it is understandable. In conclusion, Mario U is a fantastic side-scroller for any Mario fan, but it's hard to recommend to people who have already played the Wii U original. Yes, the portability is a huge factor into buying the game, and if that is why, more power to you, of course. So here's my input. If you're in the mood for a raw and pure Mario platforming experience, or if you haven't played it on the Wii U in 2012, pick this game up. But if you have, it isn't worth it, unless of course you are a customer zombie to Nintendo products like me. I give New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe a 7 out of 10.